Hello student, as I discussed, and our next video I will make on oxidation state. So this video I have prepared on oxidation state, in which you all are getting confused. This I taught in class 11th also, but many of the students are not reminding oxidation state when I am discussing p block elements. So just we will go through this topic. First try to understand what is oxidation state. Oxidation state, if we are taking a molecule, suppose here I have taken NaCl, and if all other bonded atoms are removed with their charges, like from sodium chloride, chlorine is removed with its charge, then whatever charge left on sodium, that will be the oxidation state of sodium. That means it is the residual charge on an atom if all other atoms from a molecule is removed with their charge. So chlorine is removed with its charge, its oxidation state is -1, its oxidation state is -1. So oxidation state of sodium will be +1 because leftover charge will be +1 on sodium. This was the definition. There are many rules also. There are many rules which are correlated to oxidation state. So now one by one we will discuss all the rules. First one, oxidation number of the element in the free or elementary state, like we are taking Br2, Cl2, I2, H2, S8, P4, they all are free element, so they are having zero oxidation number or zero oxidation state. Now if we are taking monoatomic ion like Ca2 plus, K plus, Na plus, so whatever charge on them is their oxidation state. Like here we are taking K plus. So on K plus this is unipositively charged. Its oxidation state will be +1. Cl minus, here there is -1 charge. So its oxidation state will be -1. Now if we are taking halides, generally oxidation state of halogen in halides is -1. Its oxidation state is generally -1. But except fluorine, as we know, fluorine is more electronegative element. That's why its oxidation state is not going to change. Its oxidation state is -1. Just try to understand here. There is oxidation state of fluorine is given. This is -1 because fluorine is the most electronegative element. So always its oxidation state will not change, it will be -1. But except fluorine, if we are taking any other halogen like chlorine, bromine, iodine, they are positively charged also in many of the molecule if they will be bonded to more electronegative atom. Like oxygen is more electronegative than chlorine. If we are taking a molecule ClO2, in this case oxygen is more electronegative, so the oxidation state of chlorine will be positive. Look at here, this is the oxidation state of oxide of oxygen. This is -2 and 2 oxygen atom is there, so this is -2 into 2. Finally oxidation number of chlorine will be +4. Now next, if we are taking oxidation state of hydrogen, now next rule I am going to discuss, which is related to oxidation state of hydrogen. Generally it is +1, but in case of metal hydrides, if it is giving hydride with group 1 or group 2, mostly with group 1 and group 2 element, they are more electropositive. So hydrogen will be negative over there and its charge will be -1. Now next, there is many other rules. Here I was discussing about alkali metal and alkaline earth metal. So I will discuss about that also. Just try to understand alkali metal. If we are taking alkali metal, normally they are having tendency to lose one electron. Alkali metals are generally, they are having tendency to lose one electron. So they are normally unipositively charged and their oxidation state is also +1. Like we are taking lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium. Now after that if we are taking alkaline earth metals, in case of alkaline earth metals like sodium, calcium, strontium, sodium is alkali metal, sorry. In case of alkaline earth metals, beryllium, calcium, strontium, barium, they are having bipositive. They are having tendency to lose 2 electron from their valence shell. So they are bipositive and their oxidation state will be +2. Now if we are moving towards oxidation state of oxygen, so if there will be oxide, if we are taking oxides of oxygen, that means O2 minus we are taking, then in that case oxidation state will be -2. Like in H2O, oxidation state of oxygen is -2. Now in peroxide, if we are taking peroxides, so in this case O2 2 minus, O2 2 minus, that means on one oxygen, on two oxygen there is 2 minus charge, on one oxygen atom in case of peroxide charge will be -1. Now if we are taking superoxides, in case of superoxide like we are taking potassium superoxide, potassium as I told this is alkali metal and always charge on it is +1. So here there is +1 charge on potassium. On oxygen there will be -1/2 charge. It is called superoxide. If charge on oxygen is -1/2, leftover charge on oxygen is -1/2, then it is called superoxide. This I have not mentioned that when oxygen react with fluorine, if oxygen is reacting with fluorine, then in this case we are getting what, like oxygen is reacting with fluorine. Here I am going to mention, if oxygen is reacting with fluorine and it is giving OF2, just try to understand OF2. So in this case we will get what, fluorine, it has -2 charge, that means on this oxygen there will be +2 charge. And if we are taking O2, I am going to take O2 F2, O2 F2. So in this compound of oxygen and fluorine, oxygen will have +1 charge. So we are getting +1 and +2 charge also on oxygen when it is reacting and giving a compound with more electronegative element, fluorine. Now next I am going to discuss about neutral molecules, So just try to understand about neutral molecule. If we will take a neutral molecule, in this case we will observe what, just wait, we will observe over here, if a neutral molecule is taken, then that's oxidation state will be 0. Like we are taking NaCl, H2O, H2O2, then overall charge will be 0. And in case of polyatomic ion, overall charge will be the charge on that polyatomic ion. Like we are taking NH4 plus, overall charge is +1. This is the oxidation state of ammonium ion. We are taking carbonate ion, overall charge is 2 minus. So its oxidation state will be -2. Now if we are taking binary compounds of metal and non-metal, metal atom will have positive oxidation state and non-metal will have negative. Like we are taking KCl, one example I have taken over here. We can take some other example also like NaCl. KCl, potassium is a metal, chlorine is a non-metal. So potassium has +1 charge, positive charge, and chlorine will have -1 charge, negative charge. Now if we are taking binary compounds of non-metal, two non-metals are taken. So which one is more electronegative? More electronegative non-metal. This is more electronegative non-metal. It's not a metal. This is non-electronegative. It is more electronegative non-metal. It is more electronegative non-metal. So more electronegative non-metal will have -1 charge and less electronegative will have +1 charge. So in H2O, oxygen is more electronegative. So just look at here, oxygen has -2 charge. It is oxide also. So on oxygen there is -2 charge, on hydrogen +1. Now next rule. Just try to understand over here. Just try to understand over here. I have taken many of the example. So you can go through all the example. I have taken compounds of nitrogen, oxygen, phosphorus, sulfur, fluorine, chlorine, chromium, manganese and iron, and their copper also, and their oxidation state also. So to practice, you all can practice all those compounds. Now next I will discuss few special. Now first one, this is ozonide group, ozonide compound, potassium ozonide. In this case, as you know, this is alkali metal, its oxidation state is +1. So in O3, total charge will be -1. So in fractional form, it will be divided on 1 oxygen, there is -1/3 charge. On 3, finally, it will be -1. Now in case of triiodide also, total charge on this 3 iodine is -1. So on 1 there will be -1/3. -1/3 into 3 is -1. Now just try to understand, if we are taking any of the molecule and we are going to find oxidation state of particular atom. We are going to find oxidation state of particular atom, like oxidation state of sulfur. Its oxidation state will not extend more than its valence electron. Like valence electron of sulfur is +6, not more than +6. If we are taking monooxosulfuric acid, then in this case just try to understand, if we will add all the value, then its calculated oxidation state will be +8. Just try to understand, once I will discuss about it. Now here oxidation state of OH minus is -1. So I am going to, if we are taking H2SO5, so here there is on H2, 2 hydrogen atom is there. So it will have +2 charge, +2 charge. If we are taking one sulfur atom, here there is sulfur, we are not knowing its oxidation state, then I considered as it X. Now after that there is oxygen, 5 oxygen atoms, so -10. As I told, this is a neutral molecule, so total charge on it will be 0. Finally, oxidation state of sulfur will be what? +8. But +8 is greater than its valence electron. It's wrong. That means we will find oxidation state of sulfur through its structure. Just look at here. This is oxygen, OH. So charge is -1 on it. It is doubly bonded. This is oxide, -2, -2, and here -1. This is peroxide. So on one oxygen, charge is -1. So finally, if we will add this all, it will be -6. So on sulfur, there will be opposite charge and it will be +6. So through structure, we can understand its oxidation state. Now many other examples also I will discuss. Just try to understand in case of H2S2O8. If we are taking H2S2O8, then over here what will happen? If we are trying to find oxidation state of sulfur in this compound, H2, so there will be +2 oxidation state of sulfur, +1 into 2 is +2. After that there is 2 sulfur atom. So if we are taking it, then we'll take it +2x, +2x, and then here there is -8 to the 16. 8 to the 16, and total charge on this neutral molecule is 0. So finally, oxidation state of sulfur will be, if we will calculate, it will be +7. +7 is greater than its valence electron. It will be wrong. So this one also we will try to understand through structure. This is -1. On this oxygen also charge is -1. Here these both are oxides, so -2 and -2. So finally +6, and same thing is followed for this sulfur also. Now move to the S2O62-. This also we can understand through charges. Here 2 sulfur atoms are bonded. There is no difference in their electronegativity. So finally it will be decided through this 3 oxygen atom. This is -2 charge, this one also -2, this is -1. So total charge on it will be +5. Look at here, this is +5. Now another one I am going to take, same thing will be followed over here also. 2 sulfur atoms are bonded and they are having same charge, isn't it? They are same atom. So no opposite charges will be there. So we will decide its residual charge through this 3 oxygen atoms. This is -2, this one is also -2, and this is -1. So finally charge on it will be +5. Now next I am going to discuss. Here also there is a special case. If we will take tetrathionate, here this also we will decide through structure. Now this is carbon suboxide. In case of carbon suboxide, if we will take 3 carbon atom and 2 oxygen atom is there, and we are going to decide its oxidation number. It will be 3x - 4. 3x for sulfur, and for 2 oxygen atom it will be -2 into 2, so finally -4. So on carbon charge we will get what? +4 divided by 3, which is wrong. So now we'll decide through its structure. That much big fractional number will not be the oxidation state of carbon suboxide. So in that case we will take a structure. This is the structure of carbon suboxide. These 3 are directly bonded to carbon. This central carbon atom is bonded to 2 carbon atom. So its oxidation state will be 0. Similar atoms are there, and the oxidation state of these 2 carbon atoms are decided through oxygen. Its charge is -2, so on this carbon atom +2, and oppositely also same process is followed. Now we'll move towards tribromo octaoxide. Here also we will get a big fractional value which will not be the correct oxidation number. So here also we'll find its oxidation number through structure. Now next, just try to understand first of all about bleaching powder. If we are taking bleaching powder and going to calculate its oxidation state, so this is -2 and this one is also -2, so total charge on calcium will be +4, which is wrong. That means there will be a difference in their structure, and we know CaOCl2 bleaching powder contain one Cl minus and one OCl minus. Look at here, here there is -1 charge and here also -1 charge. So totally charge on calcium will be +2. If we are taking organic compound, always in most of the cases, in case of organic compound, we are deciding their oxidation number through their structure. So just try to understand this carbon atom is bonded to 3 hydrogen atom and one similar carbon atom. So it will not affect its charge if this carbon atom will be removed, but this 3 hydrogen atom will affect. They are having +1 charge. So on this carbon atom there will be -3 charge. And over here on this 2 hydrogen atom +1 charge and on oxygen -1 charge. So finally on carbon there is -1 charge. Like that only here also we will decide charge on both the carbon atom of acetic acid. So it's very easy to understand. It's simply charge on the atom. If all other atoms are removed, then whatever charge we are getting on particular atom, this much only, nothing more is there. It is the residual charge on an atom in a molecule if all the atoms are removed with their charges. Thank you students. I think through this video you understood what is oxidation state, and in future there will be no any problem in this topic.